Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I do have a review for you. This is Vault Comics, Human Remains, issue number 1. I think this is cover B, but I think there was like 4 or 5 different covers for it. This one's gonna be hard because I really want to get into this book, but I don't know how to put it. For one, the art is not at the level I want it to be. The art on the cover is, and the art on a lot of the covers were, but the art on the inside of the book, it's good. It's just it doesn't really fit the story, because it is a very horrific story. As you can see, there is a lot of blood. The premise behind the book is kind of simple, but that's kind of where I have one of the main problems. But it's about some kind of threat, alien, or they even go into bacteria or virus. They don't know, but there is a threat that has come to Earth, and it attacks anything based on emotions. So it attacks you if you're happy, sad, lonely, fearful, angry, and that's kind of where I have the problem with, because in this world, they set up this world where in public, you can't display any kind of emotions, or these things just appear and kill you. And it sounds great and everything, but me being a logical person, it doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like The Quiet Place, and I do love both those movies, the second one better than the first, but it just doesn't make any sense. If you're talking about these things hunt on sound, they would be hunting birds and the water, and everything makes sound, right? Just because you don't hear it doesn't mean it doesn't make sound. My experience, as a matter of fact, they focused on that movie being like the high point was they had deaf people in the movie, deaf and mute. That they actually make more noise in real life than you would imagine, because they can't hear what they're doing. And that's kind of like my problem with this book is, yeah, that's great, that the idea of it is a good idea, but if they would have fleshed it out a little more, any human, how can you suppress, laughter or fear or being scared, or, it's almost like the second, you heard like a kind of funny joke, like you'd be on your phone looking at a Instagram reel, and you'd be like, and all of a sudden like a portal out of nowhere would come and just eat you, or whatever it is. That's kind of my main problem with the book, is it just, logically it just doesn't make any sense. Everybody in this world would just be dead. You would have certain people that do well with being emotionless and not expressing emotions. I get that. But, even in the logical sense, those people suppress their emotions. It's not something that they naturally do. For a human being to suppress any kind of emotion on a natural, everyday level, like all 100% of the time, is just kind of ridiculous. That's like me talking right now, and there's comedy coming out of it. Oh, I would be dead. It's like reading something, or you having a panic attack due to stress would be fear. So, they do set that up at the beginning of the book, and I went ahead and read the whole thing, and honestly, I'm going to go to the second issue and kind of see what they put forth to see if I want to go forward. But, I read the synopsis that they gave us, and I was like, okay, I could kind of get into that, and they kind of made it seem more like, the actions, like sex, or actions based around emotions, but that's not how, when you read the book, that's not how it goes down. It's kind of like all emotions, which, you talk about all our children would be dead. It's one thing to have children wear masks and try to explain that difficult task, being in the world that we are right now, but trying to get a child to suppress, emotions like happiness, sad, envy, oh God, there's too many, and it just, in my mind, I don't see it even being plausible. Now, the idea could be, but the fact that there are humans living in this world, that's the not plausible part, because these things would show up and just, it wouldn't happen all at once, but eventually I'm pretty sure they would get us one way or another. Either that, or we'd just be stuck in our houses forever. But okay, my little rant and everything and my thoughts on the book, but let's get into it. So they do start it out, and it's a guy watching a TV program, and they do show like ads that are around this world everywhere, you know, kind of reminding people that they can't display any kind of emotions. Um, but we do we see like a husband and wife, and they're just watching TV, and this guy is just, he's fed up. You know, of course, kind of going off the things that I just said, but you know, he's been stuck in his house for months, and they've just been watching TV. They're getting everything delivered to them because they are so afraid to go outside because of the emotion, you know, status thing that's going on. So he has enough, and he goes outside, and he belts out his rage and frustration, and of course a portal opens up, and we get to meet kind of the bad guys of the story. And instantly it's not even like, it literally is described in like a second, and this thing just shows up, and it's like a bunch of bones, and it's just, you're dead. It even states that his wife kind of like, when he went outside to belt his frustration, she, without even looking, she knew what was going to happen. So it was, at this point in the story, it's kind of like a regular thing. It's been going on for a while. They do jut over to a scene with like the world's leaders, some scientists, military advisors, that kind of thing, and they're trying to figure out what's going on, and that's where they kind of talk about that they don't know what this enemy is, as far as like it could be an alien, it could be a virus, a bacteria. They do know that it popped up around the Mediterranean Sea when they first kind of came across it, and that's kind of why they brought up the virus and disease kind of thing. But I mean, from most of the people that are in this room, they're looking at it in a logical sense, and it doesn't matter, it's an enemy, right? And they're trying to fight back on any level, and at this point they just can't. The only thing they can do is just try and help everybody suppress you know, their feelings. And they even go into the scientist that was holding the meeting, and she goes home, and you know, and she's they talk about that for some reason the creature is not, or whatever it is, the entity is not attracted to certain ages. It's like 5 or older. For some reason below 5 and under, this thing does not see you, but the second you turn, you know, 5, game on type thing. And she does have a son that has recently turned 6, and so they have been trying to teach him how to control his emotions and stuff like that. And she does state that he is not allowed to go outside because he has not been able to, you know, suppress the emotions, you know, just in seeing his mom, you know, the happiness and kind of a little bit of sadness comes up, and the book does point out, you know, certain types of emotions that they're displaying, but they kind of go back and they show you like the world when it happened, some different events, and they show like, you know, some, but they show like current events. They go back and forth, but they do show current events, like people that just don't believe, of course, and they go and protest, and they all die. They have other people that are just want to fight the whole situation, period, but there's, at the moment, they have no way to fight back, so they end up dying. Both being like public protest kind of things. But they do show that in other forms, like they show like some guys, you know, like a kind of hippie communion, and they're just kind of singing and dancing, and you know, they end up dying too. They do show other things that are going on in the world, that even those things are happening out in public, and all those people are dying. They do show, you know, some sad scene behind doors that you know, like this guy that's beating his wife and stuff, and I mean, it amazes me that let alone that happens, but it's still happening in this story with the emotions and stuff. Just push that guy outside and get him angry type thing. So we do. There are some other scenes, like they jet over to this church, and it's basically like the church faltering in his faith in God and in the devil, kind of, because none of this kind of makes sense. They do jump over to a scene. It's like a day, I guess you could say, when the event starts, and it's this couple that have recently got together, and the woman is a, like, you know, she's like a pre-law or pre-med student or something like that, you know, and she's got her life on track, and the other guy is just a musician with no job, no future kind of thing. They do show that regardless of their stature and race division, that they do end up getting married, and out of happiness and love, and that both the parents are kind of against it, but not due to the race thing, more due to the guy just kind of being a loser, and the dad on the other family just not being able to scam the family kind of thing. While this wedding and everything is going on, they do show you that it is a day, that it happens around the world, and it doesn't discriminate. It goes into like these little kids that are having an argument, some elderly folks that are kind of laughing at a joke that wasn't even funny 20 years ago, kind of like that. But they do jump back to the wedding, and of course at a wedding you got people laughing, dancing, angry, jealous, all kind of stuff, right? So of course the portal opens up above the wedding, and it's just a bloody free-for-all, let's just say, on the wedding, buffet variety. And it's basically like everybody trying to live and not doing a good job at it. We do see that the musician's dad, which kind of came off as a loser in the book, but he does end up trying to save his son, and he does meet, he does get killed in the end. But we do see that the newly husband and wife, they are like the last two left alive. And they kind of give you the reveal of what the creature or monster looks like, and it's just a pile of bones, and you do see like that it has a skull for the head or something like that. It's kind of like one of the problems with the creature in the beginning was every time they show it, they just show a circle show up, like right here I'll point it out. But then they show this, and it just, like everything they've shown us is just like, how do they see what they are attacking, kind of thing, and what happens if they leave this circle that the portal appears? Would they, if they just left that area, would they be okay? Would more portals open up? I don't know. My dad always told me to look for holes in stories, and this book has a lot of holes. I feel like the design on the creature, I fall into a pitfall just trying to grasp that concept. Like I said, I'm not trying to down this book, and I always try and give you my honest reviews. Story-wise, the book was really good. It's the premise behind the story I'm having the problem of grasping, but that's why I'm going to give it one more, I'm going to go to the next book and see, because I do enjoy Vault books. Everything I've read from Vault so far has been really good, and especially for our first book, I know they are building up the story, but I'm having such a hard time grasping the concept that they're trying to throw at us. But this is my review. I'm sorry. I really do hate, when I do get a book, especially something that I was looking forward to, and it just doesn't meet those expectations. I'm not trying, I wouldn't naturally buy the book if I didn't like it to begin with, so that answers that. This is my honest review, my honest thoughts on the book, especially reading it and going into it. I don't know, but did you read it? If you did like it, going off of what I said, give me some feedback or something. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm looking at, maybe I missed some vital piece of detail, and that's leading me to this assumption or something. I don't know, but because I do want to love the book, but it's just I'm having these hang-ups. But that's my review. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.